All right. So we're gonna cover a Tom Brady tweet. It says we thriving, which is a picture on Twitch of comparing Tekken 8 against Mortal Kombat 1 against Street Fighter 6 viewing numbers, right? And I mean, we've known this even for the last year. Mortal Kombat 1 is just not doing so good. It's not capturing the hearts and minds of the majority of Mortal Kombat fans, and it never will, right? That's just a simple fact, right? Also down here, Blitzers has shared this. It says Brawlhalla. I'm assuming this is on Twitch as well. 315 viewers for it. Undisputed is getting 292. 259 viewers for Smash Bros. Melee, and just 220 for Mortal Kombat 1, right? Now, I think Undisputed is, I think it's new, right? Brawlhalla, though, and Super Smash Bros. Is pretty old, right? Pretty old, okay? He also backed it up by, there was another tweet, I think he posted, that showed that the numbers had increased, but that's abysmal. This is a year-long old Mortal Kombat game, one of the big top AAA fighting games, right? It should be into the well, I'd say thousands. It should be into the thousands, just like Street Fighter, just like Tekken is, right? And the problem with this, like, and you know, this is nothing new, right? Is that they just don't care. Like NetherRealm, Warner Brothers, they decided to use their game as a political platform to push messaging, along with just the most woeful types of gameplay or lack of gameplay, as well as design, all that sort of shit. They have been surfboarding on the good name of Mortal Kombat for a while, and now they hit a wave that they cannot get over, right? This NRS cycle here is pretty accurate. Game is released on consoles, PC. PC version netcode is garbage. Then there's massive amounts of day one DLC shilling in Twitch. Yep. PL ducks at this point. Salt over top tiers and broken shit. Repeat for 1 month. 1 week later, patch announced. Overpowered these DLC characters. Mass CPM drop as casuals move on. 2 weeks later, another patch. Non-NRS diehards become annoyed and quit the game. NRS pumps dollars to keep tourneys interested, except this time. NRS game is now dead. Game of the Year edition released at the end of the year. And yeah, we'll probably get a Game of the Year edition next year. And then, of course, it finishes with new NRS game announced and promises for better netcode and then hype, right? I know some people were like, they didn't seem to understand, right? When I said the other day that Mortal Kombat needs the Marvel Rivals treatment, right? You know what? You know, some people took that as, oh, you absolutely want to have a third-person shooter, but Mortal Kombat characters. I specifically fucking stated in the video, no, that's not what it's about. What I'm stating is the fact that Marvel Rivals respected the lore of the characters, respected the design of the characters, and made sure that the story wasn't some woke horseshit with the actual characters' storylines in the game, right? Not making it into a third fucking person shooter. I even said that. What I'm saying is that other companies are seemingly able to take an IP that is being utterly destroyed by the very people that own it and actually make it enjoyable and fun again. If you suddenly let Disney Marvel take full reins over Marvel Rivals from NetEase, I guarantee you that it would just go down the shit. We'd end up with Concord characters again, right? The Chinese don't fuck around with this sort of stuff. Asia in general don't fuck around. They're trying a little bit with Japan. But by and large, Asia don't mess around with this woke crap because they know it's poisonous, they know it's ruinous, and they will not tolerate it. They want to make money. And by making money, you need to make something fun. If you make something fun, you make money. Holy fucking shit. Imagine the big brain that thought that one up, right? So now we're in a situation with Mortal Kombat, right? Where, you know, for the last year, we've had all the diehards and the shills and the only pros defending it and stuff like that, right? Or people only caring about it for their own vested interests. There's not a lot out there in terms of the creator space that legitimately care about whether or not Mortal Kombat thrives. They only care about what they can get out of it. And you might say, well, Faye, aren't you the same? Well, I've been there since the very first Mortal Kombat. Not a lot of you have. Therefore, I consider the very first iteration of MK, with what we got, to be the grounding, the foundation of what made Mortal Kombat great. And ever since Ed Boon took over, he has butt-fucked this thing into, like, Kingdom Come. Right? It has been utterly destroyed through all of his gimmicks and crap like that. And the only saving grace that both MK9 and the 3D era had was the fact that there were people there still making sure that at the very least, that the story was somewhat coherent and the game itself was still made to feel like a Mortal Kombat game, right? But you get some of these older developers, like David Jaffe from God of War, Corey Barlog from the new God of War, the first game at least, also, what's his name, Cliff Bleszinski, who did Gears of War, Ed Boon. You get all of these older guys who have made these really masculine, testosterone-styled games, and they have turned into the most gigantic fucking pussies on the entire planet. They are literally these lefty, weirdo-leaning idiots, you know, that are like, we need to respect women, we can't have sexy women in our games because otherwise it'll turn all men into grapes, right? Or grapists. Like, it's just fucking stupid. And some of them probably have daughters, right? And I've seen this actually happen where a father will go one of two ways, right? They'll become a raging feminist, right? And think they have to be a champion for their daughter and, you know, we need to make men do better and all this bullshit. Or the other father, which basically says, this is how we fix it, right? This is, oh, sorry, not just how we fix it, sorry, my bad. This is how we teach our daughters what the world is really like, so that way, you know, they are prepared for it, right? Yes, there are some shit men out there. Avoid them at all costs as best you can. Take these safety measures. It is our role as men to protect not only the weaker sex, physically, right, but also our children. That is our God-given role in society. And we have seen, for the last decade or so, give or take, a very, very, very deliberate effort to try and undermine everything that makes society great, but not only just great, but strong, right? And if we apply that to Mortal Kombat, what made Mortal Kombat one of the greatest fighting games of all time? It wasn't the 3D era. It wasn't the NRS era. It wasn't even MK9. It was the 2D era. The reason why MK9 was so successful is because it harkened back to the fucking 2D era. That's the reason why MK9 was so loved. Because it felt like we were getting essentially a brand new lick of paint on a 2D era game, but in the 3D setting, right? We had a perfect roster in MK9. We had, you know, really great fatalities. We didn't have this brutality bullshit, you know, not like how they do it now. We had, you know, I thought it was a pretty great story, like a sidestep story from the original, so it didn't fuck with the original, right? But no, MK9's success by and large is because it made people feel like they were getting a 2D MK again. That they got rid of the 3D bullshit. It was crap, right? Little Ed Boon's experiment failed, okay? It might have been successful, but it still failed for a lot of majority of MK fans because it wasn't the Mortal Kombat, right? And so now we're in another predicament, right? Where they have kept the 2D style, but everything else has been completely thrown out. Probably hired people that have no fucking idea about Mortal Kombat or what makes it great. Everything from sound design, music design, and character design, fatality design. I mean, these motherfuckers were getting PTSD when they were doing MK11, researching fatalities, like on actual real bodies and shit online. They actually got PTSD. Did we see Ed Boon come out and say, oh, you know, that's not good. I didn't ask for these people to do that. You know? No, I didn't hear shit because they didn't care. Because they were still reaping the rewards of what they were putting out. They don't care what, you know, they don't care the price of what people have to pay. And now Mortal Kombat is absolutely failing. It's failing on every conceivable metric known to man. And fucking good. It's about time. It has needed to fail this whole time. The whole NRS era is an absolute joke. stiff animation, crappy character design, shit mechanics, shit fucking gimmicks that they put into the game. The reason why the classic MK games work so well is because there were no gimmicks. By the time MK3 rolled around, that was technically the first time we ever got... Oh, sorry. Let me correct myself here. It's the first time, and I don't consider it a gimmick, but they added a run mechanic, right? I don't really consider that a gimmick because it was still limited. In MK2, they introduced crossover kicks, right? So that way, if you jumped over someone and you kicked, you automatically aim, like auto-aim essentially back at them, right? That's fine. Like, that was okay, right? It was pretty good. Good way to, you know, do like a jump kick, set up for like a, you know, a spear grab, uppercut, you know, it was pretty groovy, right? And you can put a little bit of pressure on too. But that was like a first sort of major combat change that they added in MK2, right? In MK3, they added the run meter, which then obviously we then had the dialing combos. The dialing combos were fair because you didn't have 50-50s, there was no stupid guesswork, and you could simply block everything without having to worry about highs and lows. I would take, if I was in charge, I would take all of that, all the way back to the classic style and rebuild from there, right? None of this doing combos without touching someone's shit. None of this fucking like hour-long cinematic cutscene for a fatality. Go back and you watch classic fatalities. They're literally over within like a second or two. It's so fast. Like, it's really fast, right? And the execution has to be done within like a second, if that, right? You have to be like bang right on that shit. If you were able to go like forward down, what was it? Forward down, high kick, forward down, forward, high punch for Sub-Zeros like freeze and smash, right? That was amazing. Or doing reptiles, up, down, high punch to go invisible, forward, down, high kick to do his cut in half. You had to be lightning fast to do this shit, man, right? Because it was amazing, right? And that showed a level of skill, even in the execution of doing the fatalities. Now, because of whiners and bitches and stuff like that, it takes too long, you know, I can't do a fatality, right? No, we need to get Mortal Kombat to being strong, you know, just masculine, you know, hot chicks, just, you know, and just a bit of like taking the fucking training wheels off the game. Right? That's why people are excited for Virtual Fighter. Because it feels like we're getting a fighting game coming back that doesn't seem to feel like it's going to have any gimmicks. It's just going to be a raw fighter, and it's going to come down to pure 100 and unadulterated skill. That's what we need. Anyway, catch you next time.